I'm Victoria, and I would like to sing Je veux vivre from Gounod's Romeo et Juliet.
Thank you.
Love it.
Mozart too?
I love it.
Great. So, who is Juliet? What does she do? Like, what's her
deal?
Yeah, what's her deal?
Well, she is a very sheltered and girlish young lady, and she is very excited to be attending a party. Her first party. And her last.
Poor girl.
Yeah, poor girl.
And then Pamina, tell us about her.
Well, Pamina's just been put through the ringer throughout the entire show, but she feels very betrayed by Tamino, and I think that there's a certain aspect here of she is legitimately sad.
Yeah.
I do believe she is, but she's also her mother's daughter, so she's a little manipulative.
Child, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
She's like, I've gotta do something, right?
Yeah.
And and then she realizes it doesn't work, and she tries to kill herself in 2 scenes.
There you go.
I mean, it's she's on a journey for sure. So, yes.
I think, yes, agreed.
Yes.
I think that I love the contrast between the two as like a 1-2 audition thing for a lyric soprano. That's great. Those are two different sides of you as a performer that we get to see, and that's super important. I think that like offering, whether it's vocal contrast in this case or character contrast or anything like that, the more sort of you can bring to the table in an audition, the better, obviously. And you very successfully, I thought, were able to like bring us 2 very different characters.
Yeah.
The question I have, I suppose, like first off, you sing German beautifully. Like really,
thanks.
the way your voice works with that language is really remarkable. I was looking at your resume a little bit. I hope you get to spend some more time with like Pamina and some other ladies in there, because that's really that's good stuff for you. Your voice works very well with that. Like what? The first line of Ach, ich fühl's. Humor me for a moment.
Please, no.
What if she was like crying, just sobbing her face out? Ah, ich fühl's. All those little spaces, instead of taking a breath, think of like a suspension or like a little, not even a stop, just like a
sob.
Yeah, or sob. Yes, exactly. Yeah. But like, take your breath and then make it all one long phrase, but just sort of instead of articulating it with a stoppage of the breath, keep that going internally and keep that energy moving. That's my only vocal. I'm not a soprano, and I don't want to touch any of that. But just like I always think that is such an amazing line when I hear sopranos that can make this really stoppy, sort of awkward line a really beautiful legato thing. That's Mozart. Like that's what his music demands.
Absolutely.
And thank you. And in addition to that, I have a question about because your Pamina, like this aria, that is going to catch people off guard for sure. Your characterization of it, which I think is great.
Cool.
But I have a question. Yeah. Is she? Has she already decided to manipulate him at the beginning of this piece?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think she's there yet.
Okay. Where does she decide? You should figure that out.
I know.
Exactly.
I knew you were going to say that. I played around with it different ways, and this is, as you saw on my resume, I did this in grad school, and I haven't sung this aria in years, and I'm kind of bringing it back now. So I remember playing around with that moment and never quite settling on what felt best.
Right. So truly, it doesn't matter. It does not matter.
I just have to stick to it.
You have to stick to it, and you have to communicate that, especially if you're going to come into it with this different kind of characterization of her, because we need to be able to follow it. And if you nail it, then you nail it, and it's great. Cool. But so it has to be very, very specific. Yeah. And I know we don't have very much time. I do want you to do what he just said. Yeah. But for Je veux vivre, the approach to your language, where your German lives, I think it would be great to bring a little bit of that because it's a taller space, it's a more forward space, and I think
your French to be taller.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Your French can use a little bit of that because it's a long song, and you've got a long way to go. It's a long roll.
Marathon. This is
my
the second thing you sing on stage.
Yes.
Your first phrase goes up to a D, and then you're down. Like it's just silly.
And as much as you can keep yourself in a more a less wide space,
sure, sounds
the
good.
better, because you'll reserve yourself for those moments and you'll be in a better place. But I agree about the Akiku's. Can we try that again?
Yeah,
sure.
just with that space and that continuation of line and legato.
And go, if she hasn't decided to manipulate him, go very sincere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very sincere.
Yes. Sounds good.
It's really beautiful.
What happens really quick if you go numb at the beginning? Oh man, if you go completely
Shell shocked.
Shell shocked.
Can't believe this just happened.
You're to yourself. You're not talking to anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I
Because
like that.
that's a level of sincerity too. Right. There's no need to be terribly expressive,
Okay.
but to be focused and lamenting, until right until there.
Yeah.
Just those few like short measures of give us a full progression before you start to kind of, we need to see some truth there. So if you can make that the truth of Pamina right in those moments, I think it'll be really, it'll stick.
Yeah, I like that.
Totally.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much for
you.
sharing with us.